do I end up talking about dicks half the time or something anyway?
Yeah. Oh, we're gonna talk about dicks.
Cool,
Whenever you're ready, you can go ahead.
Okay, sweet. You don't need to get levels right here. Or is it all set from last time?
Should be set. Yes.
Sweet. Okay, perfect. Welcome to Monsters Conquer the World. I'm Matt, and I'm joined by Ralph.
Yep.
And this is the podcast where Ralph and I yak about monster shit. Usually kaiju flicks, but we've made some fun detours into some other monstery subjects, and I think we will in the future too.
And today I am indulging my dark side and drinking a white monster.
You're a white
Zero
monster
Ultra.
man.
Yeah.
Very good. I'm a light blue monster man.
Ooh, no, what's the flavor of that?
Toxic waste, I think.
Okay, yeah.
Monster flavor? I don't fucking know. That's the only one I drink. And the reason why I drink
Yeti piss. Yeti piss. Piss.
Well, we're in luck because Yetis have delicious pee-pee.
Yep.
Dang.
It tastes pretty good.
It's cool and refreshing, too.
I see.
I never thought I'd be into water sports, but I guess if a Yeti's in town, go for it, dog.
Yep.
I'm Matt. I'm your human toilet for the evening.
As usual.
No,
you were last week on the bonus episode.
Oh, that's
if you remember.
Oh, dang
yes.
it! Well, you wore that Yeti costume.
Well,
You tricked me.
I seduced you.
Classic Ralph prank.
You know what's becoming a thing on this show is people of the Bigfoot family and weird sexual practices.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep. You got, what would you even call it with Bigfoot? Age play or
watch me take a dump?
Oh,
play.
Yeah, I see. So
Yeah.
it's these Yeti-like creatures engaging in some version of scat or pee-pee poo-poo play.
All right. Yeah, we're telling on ourselves now, Matt. We got to move on.
Yeah, we done goofed. So when it comes to monster movies, I've been watching this shit forever. I'm a huge dorky super fan, and then Ralph kind of comes in with the fresh perspective, the new set of eyes, and we hash it out and have a little fun while we do it.
Yep.
So this time we're talking about 1972's Godzilla versus Gigan.
This was it was pretty good. I'd say I enjoyed half of it solidly, and I enjoyed the other half, but it's just all fighting.
Yes. The last 40 to 30 minutes is just a fucking knockdown, drag out brawl.
I'm not used to them being so like one half is this and one half is that, you know? Like,
It's
usually they like mix it in the story.
It's usually there's a little more finesse, and they kind of spread out the monster action and the human scenes, but this one is a little
not bad. It's just a different structure,
a little lopsided maybe.
Yeah,
but we'll
sort of like a Power Rangers episode.
Yeah.
Yeah. My chair is making a lot of noise.
What? No, can we hear those, please? Oh yeah, noise chair.
Yep.
That's good. It's
Ralph. Good to have in a studio.
Yep, our amazing studio.
Squeaky chair.
Speaking of our incredible studio with the finest furniture and these piles of cocaine, and we've got a wait staff here bringing us drinks, only the crispest Yeti piss, and that's
it's your piece, sir. Do you need the squeaky chair?
Oh, it's Florizio. Thank you, Florizio.
Oh, you're welcome.
Florizio, you're the best. Thank you so much.
Yes, sir. We'll abandon this one. But
Florizio is a beloved Monsters Conquer the World podcast character.
Florizio.
No. Sorry, Florizio.
Do you need the squeaky chair?
So this So I wanted to jump to a 70s Godzilla movie because we had just watched a Gamera movie, and Gamera movies have they got their own flavor, right? And so I wanted to jump to a 70s Godzilla movie because I wanted us to watch a lighter, basically wacky wrestling superhero Godzilla movie to kind of change it up from some of the stuff that we had seen before. And this is this point in Godzilla's history as a movie character is really interesting to me because it's 72. Japan's going through a recession, so the budgets have dropped. Gamera is picking up a lot of steam. Ultraman is picking up a lot of steam. These two characters are both kind of taking a big bite out of Godzilla's pie. And so Toho says, okay, we gotta kind of change gears a little bit. Kids want fights. They want gore. They want crazy space monsters. And Godzilla vs. Gigan fucking hammers it all home on the cheap. I don't know if you noticed.
Really?
Yeah, there's actually, and I hadn't really noticed this until this last viewing. There's a lot of stock footage, and stock footage is the fan term for reused shit from previous movies.
Oh, okay.
Special effects shots from older Godzilla flicks basically get cannibalized and reused in this new movie. And a lot of it is actually from Ghidorah, the three-headed monster. And that's why I noticed it.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
There's even a shot where you can see little baby Mothra for a split second.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. But it's funny because we had this, even with me being cognizant of that, we both had this same thought. We were talking about this before the podcast.
Okay.
It looks great.
It looks fantastic, yeah. For me, it's the design of all of the set and all of the weird technology that they throw in. I love that kind of stark 60s design. Even though it's the 70s, it looks 60s to me.
It's got, right, there's that bleed over into, it's not
it's 72 or
right,
something.
Yeah. It's not like on, New Year's Eve, 12/01, 1970, everybody agrees.
It's the 70s now. I've shut this other shit down.
No more of that, no more blinking lights.
Right.
We're done with blinking lights. Right. Nothing is silver anymore. Mm-hmm. No, yeah, it's that natural kind of bleed from one style into the next. So you have aesthetically you have a lot of 60s stuff, but you do have that 70s stuff creeping in. We were talking about the fashion is always so fucking fresh. Yeah. Everybody looks so good in these movies. Even the bad guys with their outrageous neon orange suits, I'm like, yeah, dude, I'm here for it.
Especially them.
Yeah. I think. They got a pink cravat under their suit jacket. And it's like,
yeah.
We get a hippie in this one.
I love the chubby hippie because he's eating corn when you see him the first time.
Yeah,
and I just love people that are eating whole movie for the entire movie. But yeah, then later on, he and the other guy eat a couple of bananas. And it's just it's funny to just watch these guys in a scene just eating bananas.
They're just hanging out in an apartment and having a little snack.
Right.
It's very endearing, and it makes me think of actually Brad Pitt specifically, and especially in the Ocean's movies. Dude, man, is always eating shit, and there's a fun energy to that. There's a kind of a casual whatever, I'm just here.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what it tells you about the character, but he always eats shit in movies.
Yeah. Yeah, and
I think he just knows that he looks good doing it.
Right, it's how Tom Cruise always runs.
Right. When I chew, it doesn't look good. It's clearly someone is doing a job. There's a task that needs to be done, the food needs to be eaten. But with Brad Pitt, it's just yeah, man, I could be doing anything, but I felt like doing this.
There's a lot. Yeah, there's some style, and there's this big energy to it.
I just felt like chewing an apple.
I needed to eat something, man.
I didn't even really need to. I just thought it'd be fun.
I like food.
Yeah. No, but for me, it's this food now.
This is my life.
Yeah.
I need sustenance.
Yeah. What were you gonna say?
Oh, just in Fight Club, there's an early scene where Tyler Durden is speaking on the phone with the narrator, and he just loudly, aggressively into the phone receiver, just going to town on some potato chips.
Oh yeah,
and there's such an energy to that. He's almost big dogging him in a way, like mwah, 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 mwah. Like I don't give a shit. It's snack time for Daddy Durden.
Hello. Who's this?
I don't know. That bugs me to hear someone chew.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know, like
why it's different.
Why is
in
that
a movie?
Yeah, why is that cool when he does it?
Oh yeah, right. Okay.
Sitting on the couch farting and like eating potato chips. It's like I don't care who the fuck you are or what you look like.
Yeah, no. In real life, it's fucking obnoxious. Get out of here, pretty please.
No, I mean you can fart. What were you gonna say?
I had a roommate freshman year of college who was a very unusual man, and I won't get into all of the details.
Jerking off in weird places.
No, other weird
jerking off in normal places at the wrong times.
You know, I'll be totally honest, never caught him jerking it, but he did. This is unrelated. He did print off pictures of botched breast implant surgeries. Never experienced the jerking, and this is unrelated to the food conversation, but I wanted to give you some frame of reference. So other than that, which was truly upsetting and horrifying, and to be fair, never caught him jerking it. So fucking weird. The food thing that I was going to tie it to was that Dude Man would stand behind me while I'm at my desk using my computer and just loudly make love to a cup of yogurt. Just real juicy. Sorry for that. I feel bad just doing that just now.
I'm stuck on the breast implant.
Oh yeah, dude, it's bad.
Yeah. The yogurt thing registered in my brain, but I think that the breast implants...
Oh, it's dwarfed by that, absolutely.
Yeah.
But I felt some need to address the, because when you say bad roommate situation, you jump to jerking it.
Well, my hypothesis has not been disproven that he has weird jerking habits.
Oh, that's I was like, okay, but there was something wrong with his jerking it.
Did you ever ask him?
No.
You never asked him about the implants?
No, because he would just fucking talk at me about it. He's like, hey, look at this one.
What was wrong with them?
With him?
No, the breasts.
Like
we're figuring out what was wrong with him by talking about the breasts.
Yeah, it would be like a rupture with the silicone or like or silicone. I always get those mixed up.
Whatever.
The goo you put in a fake boob. There would be like a rupture with them or like an infection. Like maybe it was done on the cheap or something. I don't know, man.
So
it was fucking horrible.
This is Monsters Conquer the World. We can talk about real life monsters too.
That's true. I feel like we're getting more into true crime territory now.
No, seriously, but I'm interested,
Yeah. Maybe this is the Shadow episode. Maybe we can put this into the bonus content.
It could be anything. I just am way too interested in what was wrong with these things that he was like, yes, I need this.
Well, on some level, I wonder
was he going to be a doctor?
No. What
was he studying?
Close. I don't know, dude. I think on some level... it was freshman year. Like we were all taking gen eds.
Okay.
General education credits.
We can drop it. It's
I'm just Ralph. Wow. Let's talk about it.
I've never heard of a person doing this.
Yeah, no, me either. And I've never encountered it since.
Where did we leave off?
I don't know. I don't fucking know.
Chewing.
Our protagonists eat corn and then a banana, and it's fun.
So yeah, it's fun. Unlike ruptured breast implants.
Yeah,
so,
not great.
Where do we go from there?
We kind of jumped around a bit. Do you want to kind of take it back to the beginning?
The beginning of the movie?
Yeah.
So one of those characters that was eating a banana, he starts out in the movie going to some editor and he's got ideas for monsters that are new monsters that are not like the old monsters that would represent nuclear war and etc. These new monsters would represent homework and a nagging mother.
Yeah, mean
we must
moms.
assume, which also is a lot like his girlfriend.
Very clearly his hard-charging girlfriend, which is a weird whole thing to unpack.
You see that a lot in Japanese movies, I think.
Yeah.
Where they're like, okay, mom and like they're just really like bold about it. Like, okay, mom and wife or whatever, they're like same.
Yeah,
you know,
which
like,
that's a lot.
Right. It's a lot to unpack.
Yeah.
But it's like a theory here, and like seems like it's almost like a given there.
Right.
It's very weird.
It's just a fact
very,
of life.
very weird.
It is extremely weird.
Yeah.
Speaking of the protagonist, did you get like kind of a Mike Myers vibe from him?
His
like,
hair is a lot like Mike Myers back in the
like early
90s.
90s
Yeah.
Mike Myers, yeah, and like even some of his mannerisms
Oh,
kind
really?
of, yeah, like it not so much his face, but like his hair and his body language made me go like, oh shit, this is like, I don't know, it's
Kinda?
Wayne Campbell himself like teleported to 70s Japan or something. But yeah, I got that kind of weird energy off of him.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't get much weird energy off of him. I
Oh,
didn't
not
get much
I guess
energy.
not weird energy. Just that I look at him and I do think Mike
Oh
Myers.
yeah, well I thought his hair definitely was like that, but
Well, I think the whole 70s aesthetic and the fact that it's kind of it's almost a spy movie. It's like a mystery caper.
Oh, you're
kind of
doing
connects
an
it with
Austin
like
Powers
I
thing?
think it
Yeah.
connects to a little bit of Wayne Campbell, but a little bit of Austin Powers as well.
yeah.
And
Well,
there's
he's kind of goofy too.
Yeah.
Because his ideas for monsters being what they are just like, oh well, like super literal. Just like, yeah, kids are afraid of homework.
right.
It's
Yeah.
like, no, that's not what we meant.
Yeah.
Like, but yeah, I liked that it made a clear statement in the beginning of the movie that monsters represent fears.
Yeah.
The old fears are going away for one reason or another. Maybe we're just getting further from nuclear war.
The times they are a changing.
Right. And we need new monsters for children.
Give us some fresh shit. So this
And you said this is sort of a reaction to Gamera at this point, right?
Yeah, especially the focus on the monster fight, and the little bit of gore, and the more kid friendly approach, and the wild design of Gigan. Because prior to Gigan, Godzilla monsters are kind of like, oh, that's kind of like a dinosaur, and that's a huge bug.
Yeah.
And you'd maybe get in Toho monsters. You had a couple robots at this point, but nothing like Gigan, this like fucked up cyborg chicken fish. And Ultraman monsters are all over the place too. They're buck wild looking.
Yeah.
There's not they don't go for that verisimilitude that the Toho monsters generally do.
Yeah, it was definitely, to my eye, just seeing a couple Gameras and seeing a couple Godzillas, it seemed like post-Gamera just because of the blood alone.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Because this is famously the first movie where Godzilla bleeds.
Yeah.
Prior to this,
And, like, gets cut.
yeah, oh yeah,
Yeah.
like wrestling style,
And,
just as
and it
gushing.
just, gushes out of him.
It's brutal. Because prior to this, we saw like Ghidorah kind of had a little blood come out of his mouth when he got beat up
Right.
in Destroy All Monsters, and then like if a human protagonist got shot, there'd be a tasteful circle of red like on their shirt, you know.
Right.
But in this one, yeah, he's just splurting out.
Oh, it was very cool.
It's rad, right?
Yeah.
Like it's exciting, and then Anguirus gets cut too, or Anguillus. I don't know. There's like 5 different pronunciations of it, but he fucking sprays the screen. It's like, goddamn.
Yeah. That was a cool monster, too. Seeing them swim next to each other was kind of cool.
Yeah. I love Anguirus and Godzilla's relationship at this point in the series, because Anguirus is actually the first monster Godzilla ever fought.
Oh.
Way back when, and then they brought him back for these later movies as kind of like Godzilla's right-hand man.
Yeah.
And that's a fun dynamic.
Yeah, I have not seen a movie with Anguirus in it, so that was new to me, and I don't know. I mean, that made sense to me because when I was watching, Anguirus is the one that Godzilla sends to go see what's going on when they play the tape.
Yeah, he's kind of his lackey in this.
And they repel Anguirus from the shore when he shows up. It just kind of, again, was like thematically or whatever theme I got in my head of like rejecting the old monsters. It's like, well, he's one of the first ones, you know, like, and I love that, and I love their back and forth before he takes off, where he's just like this comic booky talking. What do you
like the speech bubbles? Yeah,
speech bubbles. Yeah. Yes, that was great.
It's so much fun, and of course, it ties in with the main character's job as a cartoonist. And
I did not put that together, but
boom, there you go. And then in the dub, instead of because that in the subtitled version you get the speech bubbles, and then in the English dub, instead of speech bubbles, they play like a weird record scratch noise, and then they have some voice actor being like, "Angelus, you better check." Okay. And that's fun too. I don't have a preference. Like I like both of those. It's goofy and fun.
I watched the Japanese one for Godzilla, and Gamera, I think, is more open to like dub.
I think that's a fair assessment. Yeah.
Because Gamera's just really fast and loose. It like doesn't really matter.
That's a really good way to describe Gamera. I like that a lot. Definitely fast and loose for the Gamster.
Yep. I'm going to use that. I'm going to hold you to that name. He's the Gamster from now on.
Oh, yeah, that's all over the blog, dude.
Is it?
Oh, yeah, man. I come up with dumb nicknames for these guys all the time. Gammy.
Oh, well, I can't torture you with it then.
No, sorry, dude. I already tortured myself.
Oh, all right.
G-Fresh, G-Money, G-Man, like, all that shit is just plastered all over the blog. It's just, the blog is kind of like a fun brain diarrhea for me, where I'm just like, here's 7,000 words about a movie.
Yeah, it's a lot of words.
I'm amazed anyone reads it.
How do you know which G-Man you're talking about?
Well, G-Man is exclusively for Godzilla. I would not call Gamera that.
Okay, so what's G-Money?
That's also Godzilla.
Oh. Okay.
Gamera gets like Gamster and Gammy. G something is
Slam
reserved
Gam.
for Godzilla.
Thank you, ma'am. You're going to use that now, aren't you?
I think I have. I can't recall. But yeah, I come up with dumb nicknames for all of them. Like Ghidorah, I'll call the Gidster or Giddy.
All right.
You know, Anguirus turns into Angie, I think, or Angie.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. I don't know. You know, it's funny for the blog, because in the blog I bounce around too. I don't like review them in any kind of order. I don't think I've done a movie with Gigan yet, but he'll probably be H.R. Giger.
There. Yep.
Get it?
Yep.
Yeah. So like, Gengo is our cartoonist protagonist. He gets shut down by this editor. Tomoko says, hey, we're going to keep job hunting. And he whines about it because he's a fucking baby. And they go to World Children's Land, which is a theme park? ?
It's being built, I think. Yeah.
It's under construction.
Yeah. It's very stark, sort of. We just have the tower, mostly.
Yep. Yeah. And then, I mean, I love in the big miniature set, the tower is the focus, but do you notice there's like giant cartoon mushrooms?
Are there?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, in the fight at the end I saw that.
Yeah, and when they walk...
It's still really sad.
Oh,
welcome, kids. Well, you want to look at the mushrooms or you want to look at the tower?
It's in this horrible dirt pit. Yeah. It's like some fucking
if like it rains, quarry. It floods immediately.
Yeah, World Children's Land, because, any great amusement park has to have, like, a theme, right? Like, Disneyland is famously split up into, you've got Main Street USA that brings you in, and then Fantasyland and Adventureland, and it's all kind of themed to, imagination and Disney movies and stuff, and it's like, oh, fun for a theme park, and, like, even...
Blah, blah, whimsy.
whimsy,
Horse shit.
Yeah, nonsense.
I love Disney.
No, it's fun. And even Cedar Point, America's Rock and Roller Coast, even that has like a Western themed section and kind of a Main Street section. Yeah. And so World Children's Land similarly has a very cohesive theme of monsters and perfect peace.
Perfect. Yeah, peace comes up a lot.
Perfect peace.
Perfect peace comes up a lot. And I don't know. It's probably like sort of a take on just how people talk about peace when they're being political, you know?
Yeah.
Like, it's going to be peace, but we're going to force it on you.
It's fucking...
We're going to bring peace to you.
We're going to ram it down your fucking throat.
That's what politicians love saying.
Yeah.
Don't ram that down my throat. And it's like, do you know what I'm thinking in my head when you say that? Anyway. What else?
Well, so the theme of the park is perfect peace and monsters, two things that naturally have always gone hand in hand.
Right.
And so Gengo gets the job because the boss man in his bitchin' orange suit, which I think we already talked about.
Yep.
His beautiful neon orange suit. What is his name? Kubota. Kubota is the adult man with glasses and some cool facial hair, and then Fumio is the boy genius in the moon chair.
I remember Fumio because they go and try to find Fumio out in the wild. I think they said that he was at a school or something. So later in the movie, our protagonists are trying to figure out what the fuck is with World Children's Land, because obviously it's weird because it's an insane theme for a theme park, and they hired Gengo, who's a jerk off. Yeah.
And so something's up. And also because names. I'm so bad with names. In my head, the characters are cartoonist, karate babe, tape girl, tape girl's brother, and so I'm trying to keep the names straight.
Yeah,
Machiko.
I didn't remember anyone's name either, except for Fumio.
Fumio
and I think
stuck
because they said it like 2 or 3 times, and like everyone else's name, I think they said it like 1 time and left it.
Yeah.
So I'm left calling this guy hippie dude,
right?
Or what? Chubby hippie.
Chubby corn hippie. In my notes,
chubby hippie, Mike Myers. Karate chick, like you said. Yeah.
So Tape Girl runs out of the World Children's Land headquarters when Gengo is going to like finalize getting the job, and she drops the tape, and the tape leads us to this like fun, weird kind of like it's a little mystery. Like the all of our characters kind of get together and go on this fun sleuthing. They try to dig up some dirt on Kubota and Fumio. They go to the Hall of Records or City Hall or whatever and dig up that these two dudes actually are from the same kind of like little out of the way small town that's like it's like an hour drive from there. And they get there, and there's this really I love the human story in this one. I think it's a lot of fun.
I was way more interested in the human story, actually.
It's really solid, and Men in Black ripped it off a lot.
Did they?
Well, think about it. So they go to these guys' hometown, and they're like, "Hey, we'd like to talk to people that know Fumio and Kubota." And there's this older couple who's like, "Well, you can't. They died a year ago."
Yeah, it's like he was wearing Fumio.
Yeah, and they're even bugs.
Like a Fumio suit.
They're yeah. and there was that extended scene where they both asked for sugar water. That was weird.
Yeah,
remember that part?
Exceedingly weird.
Sugar in water.
So
more.
So yeah, there's like wearing other people's skin.
Yeah, space cockroaches.
I think we can go ahead and just ruin that they're aliens, right?
Yeah, we can spoil this movie from 50 years ago, I think.
I mean, so it's a movie about aliens wearing people's skin.
Yeah.
And wanting to...
They want to colonize Earth.
They want to colonize Earth, so they want to bring perfect peace to us, and they want to do it by destroying our monsters.
And then presumably us.
Yeah, this is where it just gets confusing for me, because I think of all the monsters as human fears, where it's like, okay, so you want to destroy our fear and bring about peace, but also I guess I should know who the editor was. But yeah, they want to destroy the monsters and like try to bring about peace. And it's like, but they want to do it in a way that is inherently violent and destroys all of Tokyo and everything else.
It's peace for them, but it's total chaos and terror for us.
Right.
It's interesting that they leave their plan kind of hazy and vague. Like they don't get into super specifics, and I think it leaves it kind of open for interpretation. Like maybe they do want to keep us around and have us live in quote unquote perfect peace with them, but maybe perfect peace is some like soulless, mindless existence where we just do where they're slaves, or maybe we're wiped out. Like
I think they were saying we would be vessels for them.
Oh, we would be suits.
Yeah,
we'd be more Egger suits.
Possibly, but then it's like, why do you need human suits? Why don't you just come here?
Yeah.
Unless, I don't know.
Like,
I really don't know.
Ralph will never know.
But yeah, they destroyed their home planet.
Yeah.
Or the something.
Well,
and they were the only survivors and came here.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's in their exposition dump, their big spiel, it's implied that they weren't originally the top life form on their planet.
Oh.
But whatever was the top life form was something like us, where they polluted themselves to death, and then as space cockroaches, they had this environment that they could kind of grow up and flourish in. But then once they kind of hit sentient, they realized like, oh, our planet's a shithole. Let's go find a nice one.
Are they literally cockroaches, and that's why they show a cockroach at the end?
Yeah.
So Men in Black ripped that off too?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah, like full stop. The villain and primary like arc of Men in Black is just ripped right out of Godzilla vs. Gigan. It's fucking wild. Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla invented Terminator.
Is there some... Oh, really?
I mean, I hate to spoil this, but like in Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla, Godzilla shows up and he's being a dickhead, even though in this, at this point in the timeline, Godzilla's a good guy. What's going on? They blast some skin off and there's metal underneath.
Oh, man.
Yeah, dude.
Well, Godzilla, you're not spoiling anything if it's just Terminator.
I mean, kind of, yeah. These Toho monster movies, like, there's... the world of mainstream pop culture has, like, such a weird relationship with these movies, and they're more influential than I think they get credit for.
Yeah.
There's one called War of the Gargantuas where Tim Burton has name dropped it as one of his favorite movies. Going back to Brad Pitt, he cited it as like the reason he became an actor.
Wow.
Yeah. And Quentin Tarantino heavily referenced it for one of the best fights in Kill Bill Volume 2.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Well, we got to watch that one.
It fucking rules. War of the Gargantuas is excellent.
Yeah.
It is my favorite Toho monster movie that does not have Godzilla in it.
Okay. Yeah, well, we definitely have to watch that eventually.
Yeah.
Not to get too far off the track, but we'll probably be doing some that are not monster related for the next couple. I mean, not kaiju related.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and that's kind of been part of the Monsters Conquer the World blueprint from the get-go, was to have kind of like a foundation in kaiju movies, and then fun branches off into other monster-y things.
I'm really looking forward to those because I kind of know what I'm talking about in other places that are not this.
Right. We have a different dynamic. Yeah. We're kind of on more equal footing when it comes to the other stuff.
I'm really just like hanging on by my fingertips when we're talking about Godzilla. Just
I'm trying to be
barely
a good
surviving this whole thing.
Ralph, you're an extremely good sport, so thank you for hanging on.
Okay, well, it's okay. I'll let you handle the rest of the plot because I have theories, but they're not solid. The rest of my notes are just like, wow, the like Action 2 tape is a banger. Or no, the Action 1 tape.
I was going to say, I remember
banger.
you saying Action 1 tape slaps.
Oh, kind of weird to see Godzilla doing the breaststroke. That's a fucking note that I wrote.
That's a great note.
Because that's all I have.
That's really good, though. Yeah. I love that note. Thank you, Ralph. And so we're kind of just blasting through the. Yeah. It's not like a, it's not War and Peace, right? Like
no,
our cool hippies kind of crack the mystery of what's going on, and some of them get taken prisoner by these cockroach aliens. And so our remaining heroes, Tape Girl and Corn Hippie, I'm just going to use my names for them because
Corn Hippie is good.
Corn Hippie is fucking top notch. She's great. So they roll up to the Godzilla Tower, which is awesome. I fucking love this movie. I love that we get a big monster fight in an amusement park. I think that was a long time coming. But to break our heroes out, they invent ziplining like it's no big deal.
I didn't know that you were seriously saying they invented it.
Well, I don't have any facts to back that up.
Oh, okay.
Was anyone ziplining earlier than 72?
I used to think it was the coolest thing in the world.
I think it seems awesome. I've never done it.
It seems like a lot of fun. I've never done it. Yeah.
And then that South Park episode came out and like shit all over it. But I'm like, I don't believe them. I think it looks fun.
I think it looks fun too.
Ralph,
I like the zoom.
let's go ziplining.
Yeah.
That'll be our next episode.
Okay.
We'll record it live.
Will just be us screaming?
Ah! Oh no! Woo!
It seems like I should be dying.
Woo!
But I'm not. So they zip line.
They zip line out and they try to go to the army to be like, hey, army guys, there are alien invaders and they brought monsters. Let's go fuck them up. And the army's just like, we can't.
And
that's it.
Our
Full
weapons
stop.
will not work.
Yeah. Which is a little fucked up because earlier the army rolled up and made Anguirus fuck off.
Repelled and Yep.
With minimal fuss.
Seriously, just fired a lot of bullets at this monster and it went away.
Yeah. And maser tanks. That's what those big satellite dish lasers are. They're they're called maser. And for the longest until last night, I thought the maser was just pseudoscience, like pulpy sci-fi bullshit.
That's real.
But maser's a real thing. That blew my mind. I thought they were just like,
well, it's an acronym,
right?
Yeah,
and it's what, microwave amplified. It's the same acronym as laser, but instead of light, it's microwave. I think
so. Yeah,
and that seriously blew my fucking mind because I thought the maser was up there with the lightsaber or kryptonite. It's just this fantastical thing that we whipped out and it works kind of good against monsters. But no, it's for real, and that was a lot of fun for me. Are you looking up what it stands for?
I'm just whipping out my maser.
Whip it out.
Whip. I have the definition. I'm trying to figure out what the acronym. Microwave amplification by stimulated emission of radiation. Yeah.
It's cool.
Yeah.
That's kind of an iconic Godzilla thing, is those tanks. But what's funny is that those actually debuted in War of the Gargantuas.
Oh.
So a lot of that footage of the maser tanks is not stolen, but reused from War of the Gargantuas, specifically when Gigan kind of has to army crawl behind the trees, and the laser kind of cuts through the tree line.
So they had no money left for this movie.
They were skating on fumes, and it's I love the chutzpah of like, okay, we're gonna do a big alien invasion Godzilla movie. We've got $7. Let's fucking do it anyway.
Yeah.
Like, I love that gumption of like, who cares if we don't have the money? We're gonna jam some shit together and it's gonna work. Like, and it does. So at this point in the production cycle, the original special effects director, AJ Subaraya, had sadly passed away.
Oh.
And for this movie, one of his proteges, Teruyushi Nakano, had taken over. And he hated having to reuse old footage because of the low budgets. But, he kind of grinned and bared it. The other thing he leaned on with the lower budget is lots of explosions.
Yes, there were a lot.
And it fucking rocks. Like, fire and explosions are cheap. And Teruyushi is like, fuck it, let's lean on it.
Yeah, there were like tons of action in this one. Just like, I'm even thinking like, oh, is there anything else I can say about the human story? It's like, no, there's nothing else. Because at this point, it just becomes a straight up monster fight movie.
Yeah. Yep. It was all kind of it just all kind of led up to this, and so we have we get a little bit of Ghidorah and Gigan just going ape shit on Tokyo, and we were talking about this as we were watching it. That's one of the first Godzilla things I ever saw was specifically Gigan in the dark, coming out of smoke, lit from beneath by flickering fire, and I was like 9 or 10, and I think it overloaded my brain, and I just was like, I'm gonna keep flicking because I don't know what this is.
Yeah, I can't imagine having never seen anything like this and just seeing that.
Yeah, just getting dropped right into that. I think either Sci-Fi Channel or like TBS was playing it, and it just broke my brain.
I probably saw Pee-wee's Big Adventure way before any other monster movie.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it kind of undercuts the power of the monster movie in a way, because you're seeing it being sort of made fun of way before you actually see the real thing.
Yeah.
They've still been very cool since I started watching them more seriously. But yeah, like Pee-wee's Big Adventure being the...
I mean, that was probably my first experience with it too. Would have been Pee-wee's Big Adventure. Yeah.
Wasn't Ghidorah like riding on a... Yeah. Okay.
Yep. Yeah.
You get like it's knocked down.
Yep. And I think Godzilla ends up in like Santa's sleigh.
In Santa's sleigh.
Pee-wee's Big Adventure is such a good fucking movie. If you've never seen it, stop this podcast right now and go watch that movie.
I gotta assume. Probably.
If you're listening to this, you've probably seen it.
Yeah.
It's seriously one of the best movies ever.
Oh.
Jess just found a quote unquote banned music video of the song that Twisted Sister is playing in the movie.
Yeah.
You're gonna burn in hell.
Yeah.
But this fake banned video is just clips from Pee-wee's Big Adventure kind of in time with the music, and it is so choice.
No, there's so many like fantastic jokes in that movie that I did not get as a kid or a teenager, or like just like every time I watch it, there's just like another joke where like, oh
yeah, it is so layered with excellent gags.
It's got an MST3K sort of layering where like if you watch MST3K multiple times, you find more jokes in it.
It rewards repeat viewings.
Right, because you've had more life experience, and it's great shit.
It's fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I love the conceit that on the Warner Brothers studio lot, apparently a full Japanese cast and crew had decided to make
being done.
Yeah. And yeah, it is kind of it does seem to because Tim Burton he's still with us. Tim Burton is a huge Godzilla fan.
That connects to what you talked about earlier.
Yeah, he's a huge nerd for this shit. There's a very fun series of pictures of him visiting both the Toho studio and the Subaraya studio. He's a big Ultraman fan too.
Damn.
So he's like geeking out with Gan Q and all these strange Ultra monsters. It's pretty cool.
He should like direct one under a different name or something, so that people don't think that Johnny Depp should be in it or something.
Right. Oh God, he should do like Stephen King had Richard Bachman, this pseudonym that
he should have another name.
He should. Oh, that would be cool.
And then he doesn't have to have like spooky stuff in it.
Right. It doesn't need to be black and white spirals everywhere with a Danny Elfman score.
Exactly.
Which I loved that shit up to a point. Up until about 1996, I was like, yeah, black and white spirals with Danny Elfman, and then I burned out.
Yeah, I mean, you do the same thing over and over again, but I mean, maybe in 10 years I'll watch Alice in Wonderland or something and be like, it wasn't that bad. I don't know.
It's not great.
I've just been proven wrong so many times in my life, you know?
All right. Well, it's good to go in with an open mind.
Well, no, I mean, we're really off on a tangent now, but I think with artists that have a style like that, him and like Wes Anderson and stuff, like, I guess specifically with Wes Anderson, like, all his movies have been good that I've seen. It's just like, am I into this or not? Like, because he's doing the same thing, and he's doing it consistently well.
Yeah.
But maybe I've just had enough, you know?
Yeah, that's possible.
Like,
I'm kind of in the same boat too. I've liked pretty much everything by Wes Anderson I've seen, even though it is kind of the same.
Yeah, after a while you're
stuff.
like, okay, well, I've seen the Wes Anderson movie that he keeps making, you know?
Yeah,
But-
I guess you wouldn't marathon them, right? It's good to see.
I don't know.
It's good to see one every couple of years, but I don't
Yeah.
know if you'd watch them all back to back.
Just one guy's opinion, but yeah, that's just kind of how I feel about like when people get like sick of distinctive artists. It's usually like you're just done with them. Like
Right.
they didn't get bad. Like, but Tim Burton might have.
I think
just
that's different with Tim
gotten
Burton
bad.
specifically, but that is a big can of worms, and we are kind of in the weeds.
Oh,
maybe.
we are.
Should we go
Weeds are
further into
where
the
I
weeds?
live, man.
I do love the weeds.
I don't venture out into the
the not weeds.
the cornfields very often.
You don't.
No.
That's where the corn is. Corn hippies out there.
Yeah.
You know he's out there like,
Yep.
oh, hey, this is for free, right?
Do you mind? Can I take this?
He wrapped it in foil. Was that weird, or is that a thing that people do?
Oh no, people do that.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
I
where
love
you
that
keep
gag.
corn.
I love that gag because he puts it to Gengo's back, and you can even see a little bit of silver in his hand. So you're like, oh shit,
Yeah.
hippie is strapped
Yeah,
with corn.
I was like, they're eco-terrorists. They're not. He's just got corn.
No, they're just dweebs. It's great. No, I love Ghidorah and Gigan's rampage, even though half of it is reused footage from Ghidorah the three-headed monster.
Yeah.
I think all the new Gigan stuff looks fucking radical. And then it turns into a tag team monster fight.
Yeah, and at one point, Godzilla's like, "Hey, can you please fucking help me out here?"
There
To
is
Anguirus.
there is a weird moment where Anguirus and Ghidorah are both just watching.
Right, Anguirus is just like, and you're like, "Fucking do something! You're a monster!"
Hey bud,
Yeah.
you want to like, I don't know, contribute?
And I'm just sitting there watching it, thinking, like, why is he not? What is Anguirus' gender?
I think he's a boy.
Okay, so why isn't Anguirus doing anything? He should be doing something.
He should be, unless.
And then Godzilla said it for me.
Right,
That's
yeah,
what-
Godzilla does say like, "Hey, bro, like hook it up."
Yeah.
And then there's that fucking move where
I was gonna
Anguirus
bring that
turns
up.
around and just rockets himself backwards
Because
with his
Anguirus has a spiked shell.
big spiky carapace, and it's so
Yeah.
satisfying when he does that.
It's because they do it like 3 times because they know how good it is.
They know they have gold, so
Godzilla just wrenching Ghidorah's heads backwards.
Yep.
Like exposing its neck, and then this other monster just jumping at him with a
Yep.
spike shell.
It's gold. When we were talking about Gamera versus Jiger, I had talked about gags.
Yeah.
And how generally Toho movies don't really have gags like Gamera does, but that's a fucking gag, and it's a good one.
I'd say, yeah, that's a gag,
Yeah. And then
or it's just cool.
right. Well, it's a special move, right? Like if this is
Yeah.
a video game, that would be a super move that you have to do a quarter circle on the D-pad before you hit the button.
Right. And if it were a pro wrestling match, it would be like a signature move. Like not quite a finisher, but like everyone knows it's coming in the middle of the match.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's the big obvious
It's the
setup
people's
for it.
elbow.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Well, and then it's followed immediately by Godzilla just taking him by all 3 necks and throwing him over his shoulder.
Yes, the
and
toss. Yeah.
It's so good. And they do that 3 times because, again, they're like, this is fucking radical.
Yeah.
We all know it. The kids at home are going to know it. Let's do that again.
Yep.
It's also it's also like a instant replay.
Yeah.
Again, to
I was
compare it to
unclear.
wrestling, it's
I was unclear on whether he was doing this 3 times in a row or if you were showing it to me 3 times in a row.
That's a good question. I think I just want it to happen 3 times in a row, so I
Right.
just assume that.
Well, if it was 3 times in a row from different angles, I would assume this is a replay of the same thing, but it was 3 times in a row from the same angle.
Yes. Yeah. Again,
So
very
the-
low budget for this movie.
Confusion set in.
Yes,
Yeah.
fair enough. It's really choice, and
Shit, that's like the end of the fucking movie.
that's pretty much it. I mean, after the hippies break out, they have this great trap where they put boxes of dynamite in the elevator, and there's this big fun illustration that Gengo did of all 5 of them looking badass.
Yeah.
And I just It was funny.
Well, we gotta back up a little bit.
Yeah.
You're gonna blow up a building,
Mm-hmm.
and there's a bunch of TNT in it, and you just filled it with TNT, and then like you all sat down, or maybe one of you sat down to draw a life-size drawing of the 5 people in your crew.
Yeah.
So that you could tape it to the TNT boxes, just in case someone happened to open the door to see the TNT boxes. They would also see a wonderful illustration of 5 of you.
Yeah. Well, and they all look badass too. Did you notice they
And they're
all have
like
like cool
in
poses?
spy
and,
poses.
Yeah, and they got like guns and stuff. And I guess I always assumed, since our main character is a cartoonist, I just figured he whipped that up real quick because that's his skill.
Yeah. Was it you who I was talking to, where you were talking about like these guys who can just like just fucking draw like it's spilling out of them? Was that you?
We might have been talking about that. Actually sounds familiar.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like where their just hand is moving and it's like, okay.
Nonchalantly,
Yep.
they're not even trying.
Here
Yeah,
you go.
I guess I kind of assumed Gengo was that kind of artist where he
might
could just,
be. Yeah.
Because when he was pitching his unfinished comic book to that editor, like it's the layouts are done, the panels are all done. Like he's got a weird way of making a comic book where he's not doing full size drawings. He's packing it onto the page. I figured he's and that's why he's kind of a fuck up at everything else, because he's just a savant at illustration.
Oh yeah. That's really common. It's just like you get absorbed in one thing, you get good at that, and then you're like kind of a dingus.
Yeah,
I like him.
Yeah, I do too. I think he's fun. I like this whole crew.
A lot more likable than most main characters.
Yeah. Yep. He's fun. This whole crew is fun. It's got this great hippie counterculture kind of vibe to it, where the bad guys, I mean, even though they look super fresh in their orange suits, they are kind of like essentially establishment squares where they're like, we know what's right for everyone. We're going to enforce it. And here comes this ragtag gang of hippies who blow it the fuck up.
Yeah. I guess that's the difference between how a sort of weird corporate entity would say, peace. We're going to bring you peace. And how people would rather live.
Yeah.
You know, like a corporate peace is totally different from like a ground up sort of like
real
vision
earned
of peace. Yeah, exactly. That's kind of an interesting way to. Oh yeah, that sort of ties into like my only interpretation of this movie is just like, and I don't necessarily subscribe to this, but like it's like it seemed like they were trying to say like don't let sort of like outsiders come in and offer to create peace for you. Like maybe it would be better to like deal with your own problems, you know, and create your own sort of peace. I would say, you know, like maybe accept help from others.
Right.
But, you know, it just seemed like maybe if there's a message in the movie, it's like, well, don't accept peace from people who don't know what peace is.
Yeah.
You know?
I like that. That makes a lot of sense to me. And I think when it comes to like digging deep and finding the meaning of this movie, I think I landed on something similar. Like,
yeah, like they fucked up their own planet and then they just left. And then they're like, well, we won't fuck up yours.
Right. Trust us.
Yeah. Trust us.
We're literally space cockroaches. You can trust us, right?
Right. It's very strange.
Oh yeah, it's a kooky little movie.
I guarantee it's not like super well plotted out meaning wise, but like there is something. There's a kernel under there of something.
Yeah, I think there is something real to latch onto, and I think that's why I had typically, when it comes to like my internal Godzilla movie ranking, I'd always kind of put this right around the middle. Like I liked it, but wasn't, you know, in love with it or anything. But
this didn't quite know what it wanted to be, sort of. I think mostly because of the sequencing. Yeah.
Yeah, if they had spread out the monster action a little more evenly, I think that would help the movie a lot, because, and it's kind of interesting. There are a handful of Godzilla movies where they do just kind of throw their hands up in the air and go, the last 40 minutes a monster fight. The first one
I stopped halfway through and I said, we should finish this when we get to your apartment. And we sat down to watch it and it was just a fight.
Yeah,
I had 40 minutes of movie left.
I was really okay with that.
No,
but,
I mean,
but I know
was
that's not
too.
to everybody's cup of, or everybody. I know that's not to everybody's taste.
Well, I just didn't realize that like it would be that
That's stark.
there's a line in the sand. Once you cross it, it's all monster fight. So that's just I ended my viewing perfectly before the monster fights.
Right. You accidentally found this like exact act break in the movie.
And if I'm going to watch any portion of the movie with you, it's definitely going to be the monster fights.
Yeah.
You know, like if I have to choose sort of thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Though, I mean, all that said, I genuinely like I've said it a million times, but I dig these characters and I like this weird little mystery that they unravel.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a little lopsided and the low budget shows through a lot, but I think overall this is a super fun little movie. And it went from kind of exact middle of my ranking to the low end of the top. I think it bumped up like a solid notch and a half.
Yeah. It's like, I guess this maybe won't be the most exciting episode we have, but seriously, that's it. It's like kind of in the middle.
Yeah.
It's like, okay.
It's a solid effort.
Good one.
And I think it gets by on how audacious Gigan himself is. I love his personality. Yeah. He's a mean bully and a little bitch who will kick you when you're down. But as soon as the fight starts going sideways, one of my favorite parts of the movie is he's like, okay, peace out, I'm done. He tries to fly off.
Coward. Yeah.
And Godzilla's like, no, we're not done yet. And he shoots him down twice. It's so good.
With the fire breath that I was wondering if he had in this movie.
Oh yeah, he saves it for Gigan to not, where are you going, motherfucker? We're still fighting.
Yeah, that's a pro wrestling thing too.
Yeah.
Like
classic
has to
heel
leave
move.
the ring.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, it's great. Oh, and kind of circling back to earlier when Anguirus and Ghidra are just mysteriously watching. I mean, that's how tag team matches work. They just didn't build the ring for this movie. They were both outside the ring.
I don't know how they would work that out to like create a barrier.
I've thought about that before.
You have.
Of course I have. And I always thought it would be fun if power lines would be perfect for that, right?
Yeah.
The big electrical towers as the turnbuckles.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, like if you were gonna go all the way and like have
full
them
cartoon madness,
hold on to the power lines and just like reach their paw over the side,
right?
Yeah.
Someday I'm going to do a lot of programming and I'm gonna hack a wrestling game and replace all the wrestlers with giant monsters, and it's gonna be the best game in the world. Someday.
You wanna know what I heard about tagging in and out?
Yes.
In wrestling, it might ruin tag team matches for you.
Oh, really? Oh, I mean, I gotta know now.
It's the secret.
Yeah.
I heard, and I have not verified, that if they hold their hand out, palm down, and they're like wiggling their fingers like for the tag, they're like, hey, come on. It means they're not getting the tag.
Oh.
And if they have their hand palm up, and they're like, no, come on, give me the tag. Like kind of waving.
That's when they'll get the tag.
They're getting the tag.
That's interesting.
That's like their signal to each other, whether they want it or not.
Right.
Whether it's time.
Oh, that's bad. Dude, I don't consider myself a smark when it comes to wrestling.
No.
And that's not a real term, right?
Like, no, it is a real term.
Oh, it is?
Yeah. It's smart mark, and then people just shortened it.
Right. But I do love the secret, like not underworld, but like the secret code and all of the stage magic of pro wrestling. That to me is as like I enjoy that as much as the actual show itself.
Right. Well, and knowing that won't actually ruin a match for you if you're watching the match for like the way that you would watch a movie like this, where you're like, I know that these are guys in suits.
Exactly.
Does it ruin the movie for you?
Nope.
No. There's still a bit of buy-in, and you might still watch a pro wrestling match, like watching for the highs and lows and how they work the crowd. And there are all kinds of wonderful things that you can really, sink your teeth into, just like you could with a movie.
Right. The drama and the fight choreography and their performances.
Right. Knowing that it's fake
doesn't matter.
nothing.
It
tells you
I know
nothing.
all this shit is fake. It's
you
still
know Godzilla's
fun.
fake.
I do.
Yeah.
It was really hard to, that was a hard pill to swallow, but I do know that Godzilla is not real, and I cannot be friends with him no matter how bad I want to, and no matter how much I know deep down that I would be a very good friend to Godzilla, and we would actually get along awesomely, and it would be really cool. But I do love the pure physicality of actual people actually grappling with each other. I think there is something like kinetic and exciting about that.
Yeah.
That as much as I love CGI or even stop motion for the fidelity and the detail and the realism, there is this chaos energy that comes with actual guys throwing each other through model buildings that is like endlessly exciting. Like I watched this movie basically 1.5 times. I watched the whole thing before we got together, and then watched the final 40 with you.
Yep.
And both fucking times I'm on the edge of my seat. I got a stupid grin on my face, even though I had just watched this same fight
the
like
night before.
Yeah, maybe 18 hours earlier. And it's just, I don't know, man, there's some kind of magic there, and it's its own thing. It's a different thing, but they're kind of two sides of the same coin, and I love that coin. Mm-hmm. It's a great fucking coin, dog.
Yeah.
Speaking of the actors and their performances and the power that brings, this was Haruo Nakajima's last time as Godzilla. He had a 12-movie run because it's the 12th movie in the franchise. So it's his farewell, and I think he does a bang-up job.
What happened to him? Did he just retire?
Yeah, I just quit.
Okay.
Because this is insanely hard and dangerous work.
Yep. And you lose 20 pounds every time you're in the suit. And yeah.
The guy playing Gigan, his name is Kenpachiro Satsuma, and he previously played Hedorah in the movie before this, and then he would go on to play Godzilla in the 80s and 90s movies. And he I didn't know this about him. He passed out pretty much all the time.
Just from sweat?
Yeah, just because he's trapped in these horrible suits. When he was in the Hedorah suit for the last movie, his appendix burst.
Oh my god.
And so they had to operate on him in the suit.
What?
Yeah, they couldn't get him out of it in time, and it was too bad. And then, Ralph, get this. That's when he discovered painkillers don't work for him.
Oh no.
So he had to raw dog a fucking appendectomy while in a humongous monster suit.
Or an appendectomy had to raw dog him.
Yeah. I guess that's a little more accurate, right? But yeah, no, I love these guys. I don't know. It's that pro wrestling thing where it's like I like the show, and then all the nitty gritty behind the scenes shit is like as exciting for me.
Right. Yeah, I hate to bring it back to the same thing, but it's like, oh, okay, I understand that. I understand pro wrestling.
Right.
That
was that's how I tricked you into this, Ralph.
That is, you said it's pro wrestling, Ralph. You should watch it.
Yeah.
And it's true. Yeah.
Signed a corda.
Signed a corna.
I was trying to see.
That's our sign off now.
No. Oh no. Oh.
Signed a corna.
Signed a corna.
I'm not doing that.
Thank you. Jesus. Me neither. So yeah. How we doing, Ralph? How we doing on the old TikTok arena? We're there.
Yeah, we should. We
got some juicy shit.
We should sign a corner now.
Let's sign the corner.
Yeah.
First, I want to get your final thoughts on this film.
I'm actually fully agreeing with you in that it is, like, from what I've seen, even, like, mid-tier. Maybe a bit above mid-tier.
Good shit.
Because we watched Shin and all that together. And like, all those kinds of movies that I really
more
like.
Thematic and thoughtful movies.
But yeah, I would put this in the middle, a little above. And that's... You said it just moved up a little bit.
Yeah, it moved up a little bit for me. I love this movie, but the thing that holds it back is its budget. Like, sadly, that comes through in a few places, and I think holds it down. The earlier drafts of this movie, because this was written by Kitamura and Sekizawa, kind of the monster dream team at Toho. They each had an earlier draft of the movie, and one thing that both of their drafts had in common. They were 3-on-3 monster fights.
Well, where'd these other two monsters go?
It's actually funny that you mentioned that. A lot of the ideas got cannibalized into later movies. Like Megalon was in the mix. He's in the next movie. A kind of a statue come to life called Majin Tool got turned into King Caesar in the first Mechagodzilla movie. So It's neat. Like they kind of spewed out all these cool ideas and they couldn't cram them into this one. Again, I assume because of the budget limitation, but they did kind of live on in later movies.
So was that the inspiration for Mannequin?
Yeah, yep. Actually, another classic case of Hollywood secretly ripping off these movies.
This is stupid. We shouldn't even watch other movies.
No. Ralph, I've been saying that for years. Because guess what doesn't fucking happen in Mannequin? A monster fight.
They kiss or whatever.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Nobody ever, a 300-foot tall dinosaur never choke slams a robot through the Empire State Building, so fuck it.
That doesn't happen to Kim
Jong-il.
What is her name? Whatever.
I know Kim Cattrall, right?
Thank you.
Yeah. I almost said Kim Kardashian. There's a lot of like dicey Kims.
I can only hold one Kim in my head at a time.
Kimmy Schmidt.
Yeah.
Kimmy Gibbler. A lot of Kims.
Okay, well, you have a lot more Kim space than I do.
Yeah, I do.
I just do the one. I got the one.
You got one Kim, and it's Kim Cattrall. That's a good pick, Ralph. So, did we squeeze all the juice out of this? Do you feel confident in the juice squeezing?
This whole time, I forgot that we were squeezing juice.
Oh yeah,
but we were really squeezing. The
You
juice.
didn't even know it.
And I think that we got a lot of juice out of this.
We got a jug full of Gigan juice.
We really wrung it.
Yeah.
We really wrung out this lemon. It's not a lemon. It's like an orange, like a blood orange.
I was just going to ask you if Gigan juice had to be, or if Gigan juice had a flavor, what would you imagine? Because I know what I would imagine.
Actually, blood orange is not that far off.
Yeah. I was thinking Mountain Dew Baja Blast because he's so extreme.
It's totally different flavors.
Oh, yeah. Wildly.
I can see both of them, though.
Yeah, right?
And because Gigan is artificial.
Yeah.
So is Baja Blast.
Yeah.
And yeah, that works probably better.
You kind of got what I was going for, but I get where you came from with blood orange because the gore.
I can tie together any kind of bullshit that you need me to tie together. So.
And that's, Ralph, that is why you make this podcast work.
Yeah. Well, so far.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. I think we juiced this one.
Yeah.
We should thank our people.
Oh, we got some thanking to do. Don't think I forgot.
We got some major thanks to give.
I got my page.
And some news, I guess, because we should say. Go ahead.
I was going to ask you about that beforehand, but maybe I'll just launch into it, and if it's bad or wrong, you can just cut it. And these guys will never know.
They don't know anything.
These marks, more wrestling terms.
So yeah, do your thing.
Yeah, well, actually, first, Ralph, I want to thank you. I kind of thanked you a second ago, but I want to thank you again for creating Harkzilla and letting us use it as our theme song.
Oh, and thank you, Matt, for doing all of the research and writing the blog.
Oh, wow, thanks.
And also, blog that we draw our material from.
Yeah. It's the well that we spring forth from. And I also wanted to thank you for all your excellent editing and producing. The last episode had a very fun sound gag that made me cackle the first time I heard it.
The
party
horns, yeah.
That was fantastic. I also want to thank our brilliant and handsome patrons. Like the pharaohs of ancient Egypt, they are living gods sent here to rule over us.
Yes.
Be sure to visit monstersconquertheworld.com for more monster-mashing kaiju goodness. I've got some Ultraman episode reviews coming up, so hopefully that'll be out later this month. You can follow us on Twitter at MonstersConquer. I post fun monstery bullshit on there. Also our Facebook group, facebook.com/monstersconquertheworld. Doing a Kaiju movie marathon here last Sunday of the month on the 28th. We're going to start at 2 p.m. Eastern. And I like to keep the lineup for these a surprise, but I will say Godzilla vs. Megalon is going to kick it off because that movie is fucking crazy and I've never talked about it not on like a blog post or a podcast. And so it is time. It is time. MonstersConquerTheWorld.com also has the open invite to the Discord, so you can jump in there and yak with us about shit. Ralph, what's up with Hellscape?
We just released the FDSDF album. We sold some of those tapes. There's still some available. HellscapeRecords.bandcamp.com if you would like tapes or CDs. Some of our CDs.
Yeah, if you like bitchin' music, check out Hellscape. And if you like what you hear, if you're digging the podcast, you can go to www.patreon.com/monstersconquer. You can become a patron. And so, Ralph, this is where I was like, I'm not sure if we should talk about this.
We should.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Perfect. I thought it would be cool. So one of our patrons, Shelly, has recently bumped up.
He's bumped up to the 25 level.
Yeah, we got a special new tier where if you sign up for that, you get to pick the content for an episode.
Yep. So that's when you're a Godzilla.
Yes.
Shelly is a
Godzilla.
Shelly has
and
Shelly has
I'll
mutated.
put in the sound right there.
Yeah, one of those.
Yep.
And Shelly has fucking incredible taste because they have determined that we should do an episode about Jason X.
Oh my god.
Which I am over the moon to fucking talk about.
So fucking thrilled to do Jason X. Because we would have really gotten to that eventually, but this is a really good excuse to just really do the research
let's just jump
dig
into it
deep and oh my god, what
film,
a good choice!
It is a treasure, and I couldn't be happier about that choice.
Hated?
Is it still hated? Are people still mad about it?
I'm actually a bad judge of what people like or hate, but I thought that people hate Jason X because it's so different from the other ones.
Well, and it is fully tongue in cheek, and it is completely just let's have fun with Jason. Fuck it, let's go nuts.
It's totally a fuck it movie, and I mean we'll get more into it when we actually start talking about it. But it's kind of a crass sort of
it's buck wild, yeah. So if you become a patron and you take the reins of the Godzilla level, you can throw your idea at us for an episode and we'll do it.
Yep, you call the shots for that episode.
So definitely consider it. Also shouts out to Chelsea and Riccio for being amazing patrons. At any level you get cool Discord flares, so when you pop in there you look cooler than regular schmucks.
Right.
At the $5 level you get access to our secret shadow episode,
which we're about to record now. We're gonna do one on Crawl.
Yes,
sort of.
We just saw Crawl,
half on Crawl, half on
some odds
shit
and
that
ends.
We like.
Yeah,
and we get to be a little looser,
loosey goosey.
I love being loose.
We get to let our hair down a little bit.
Yeah,
like the geeky girl in a coming of age teen dramedy. We get to we can take our glasses off and shake our hair out, and oh my god, we've been beautiful all along.
Yeah, I'll decide later if that stays in the episode or not.
Oops. You can subscribe to us on your podcatcher of choice. You can rate us on Apple Podcasts. You can share us on social media or tell friends that might be interested in this. Or you could design, build, and open a Monsters Conquer the World themed amusement park, complete with a giant laser shooting statue of Ralph.
That's an option.
Yeah.
We're not going to rule it out. If you want to do that, there is some paperwork that we would need to sign. So please hit us up before you build a theme park, and we will talk about it.
Or just, ask for forgiveness instead of permission, right? Wink, 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 wink.
Is that the phrase that capitalists use?
I mean, probably.
Yep.
Don't act like you wouldn't love a 400-foot tall statue of yourself that shoots lasers.
That might be the one, super vanity-infused thing that I allow.
Right?
Yeah, okay. Let's do that.
You can't argue with that. That's
right.
Too good.
Yep. Are we sign? What did we say earlier? Sign off them?
Oh no! I tried to say kinda sorta, and it turned into signed a corda.
Signed a corda.
Signed a corda.
All right, guys. Have a great day, and or night, and signed a quarter.
Signed a quarter.